Hi there, I'm Construction Gamer and this is the UK Northern Powerhouse on Transport Fever 2. This is going to be episode number 53 in the series, and in this episode I'm going to head over to the West Coast main line. I want to rebuild Preston station and realign some of the West Coast track. If you remember a few episodes back when we extended the West Coast out, I just put a temporary track in. I just wanted to get that line up to Oxenholme finished, so I'd like to start revisiting especially Preston. Because obviously that unlocks Blackpool North and things like that, so it's an important station to revisit and to get right on the West Coast main line. We're currently on board this, it's actually a 170. I think in the last episode I called it a 185, but yeah, we don't have 185s, we have 170s in place of those. I've put on the service from Manchester Airport to what would be to Cleethorpes, but it goes as far as somewhere forgotten, but yeah, I've got that service on now. It's actually one of the longest distance services we've got. It's got quite a long route from Manchester Airport up to Manchester Piccadilly and then reverses out via Stockport and Sheffield and Doncaster, so it really does connect a lot of places together. Not entirely sure if it's earning a profit. This one certainly isn't, but I mean, I don't think any of the services are earning a profit. There might be the odd one, but in general, there's massive losses. Even that's not been good anyway. But let's take a look at some of the positives. The LNER Darlington to Grantham is still making a bit of profit. The Chester Leeds is making a little bit of profit as well. But in general, I think we're just kind of hemorrhaging money there. This is the thing of trying to do realistic services on Transport Fever 2. Just doesn't work, unfortunately, but it's not the end of the world, especially as we can just inject ourselves with cash. I think so far this has cost about £15 billion to actually get this far, so with all the stock changes and things like that, so it's been quite costly, but we are just going for as close to realism as we can get within the scale of the map. So yeah, not really worried about money too much, but yeah, it's good to have these services, the real services that are in place, going backwards and forwards all over the place, and that's Harbour, isn't it, that it goes to instead of Cleethorpes, and then you've got Barton upon Humber, with just the northern service shuttling backwards and forwards with nobody on it. That's good. Possibly, do you need a bus? No, you don't need a shuttle bus service. Yeah, Doncaster's getting a little bit busy now, which is good because we built that a few episodes back, and this is a huge station, so it's good to see it's actually getting busy. Although having said that, there's not a great deal going on at the minute, but yeah, that service, the Manchester Airport to Cleethorpes service, or the Harbour service rather, six vehicles did I put on that in the end? Possibly. Let's actually probably better if we take a look in this menu, isn't it? So if I go down to there, so we got six vehicles with a 7-minute frequency, and it's actually making a little bit of a profit by the looks of it, which is good. In the last episode we built this Rotherham to Sheffield corridor. A little bit messy, but it is very, very complicated, as you can see, with all the different chords that we've got going on or linking up to each other. I've done a little bit of work with some of the bridges and a bit of paint and things like that just to make it look a little bit better, but it allowed us to unlock that Manchester Airport to Harbour service anyway, and it ties in an awful lot together, so there we are. One thing I did want to do before we get on with Preston though is actually do something a little bit different. What I want to do is head over to Liverpool Lime Street and then head over to Lee Green Nuclears. What do I want to do? I want to get rid of some trains. So what services do we have on? We have the London North Western, that's fine. Transpennine Express. Actually, I think this is going to be a brand new service. So there's Transpennine Express, that would be the Liverpool Newcastle, which is now the Liverpool Edinburgh service. Transport for Wales Rail. So actually, we're not replacing anything. It is a brand new service, and what we want, again, it's another duplication of station calls, unfortunately, because you go Liverpool to Manchester Victoria anytime, and then up to Huddersfield. Is that Huddersfield? Halifax. No, that's the wrong one. Huddersfield. Yeah, that's right. And then we're calling it Leeds, and these are duplicating stops with the Liverpool to Darlington service, and then up to York. Again, another duplication. So this is one of the reasons that you really, when you're trying to do a realistic service pattern, you don't really make any money just because of the duplication of service stops. So we've got Leeds down to Huddersfield, and then Manchester Victoria again, and then back to Liverpool. That should all be fine. It's fairly straightforward. Now the only thing we do have to do, I think we'll go to Manchester Victoria, because we've got a lot of pinks and purples going on, and obviously that is supposed to represent Transpennine Express, but it is getting very, very hard to kind of see. Something like that, that's a bit lighter. We've got 1, 2, 3, at least 3 Transpennine Express services there, which are all duplicating stops with Victoria. What's the other one? That's the Manchester Victoria. What am I saying? Manchester Airport 2. Where do you go? You go somewhere. Can't remember. Could always have a look, couldn't we? What have we got going on down here at Manchester Airport? Manchester Airport getting quite busy now. So we got a shuttle Stockport. Oh, that's a bus. So yeah, that's that one. That's the new one, and then Manchester Airport to Darlington service. Like so, yeah, we've got lots going on. So this is Transpennine Express, and it is Liverpool to Scarborough SAR. Is it SCA? Let's just double check that. Let's take a look. What am I looking for? I'm looking for the map, just because it's got all my 3-digit station codes on. Just quickly have a look. I think I'm right. Just double, yeah, SCA Scarborough. So that is, again, is another long service. That's completely coast to coast, west to east. And just what I want to do now is just schedule some trains. So it's going to have to be for now. We're still in only 2011 because I haven't moved time forward. So 2011 could potentially be that, but it doesn't really matter. And I think I'll go with 6 on this as well. So there's 150 million pounds spent straight away just on those 6 units. And then all I'm going to do is pretty much what I have to do is, so if we schedule this one, hopefully, yeah, that'll be fine. And if we speed up the game, what I generally do is estimate when I should send the next train out, just to have good spacing. And I reckon once this is past Newton Willows, then we should probably start thinking about sending another train out. It's just a guesstimate, and usually it sort of evens itself out. We still, with Transport Fever 2, we still got the massive problem of train bunching and stuff like that. They still all bunch together again, which is another reason why profitability isn't as high as it could be. But we'll just live with it. I think if we aiming for a frequency between 5 and 10 minutes, I think anything no longer than 10 minutes, and it's really not worthwhile. Although it's one of them things. I'm not really worried about profitability, but it would be nice if these things actually carried some passengers around. So yeah, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to schedule these trains, and then we're going to head up towards Preston. Okie dokie, so we're almost ready to schedule the last train now. I'm just waiting for, see, train number 93 up in the top corner. That's the first one I launched. That's heading back to Manchester Victoria. And I've just sent the last train out, 996. That's heading also to Manchester Victoria. Waiting for a free path, which has been the recurring theme as I've scheduled each of these vehicles. The run across the Chat Moss, I'm pretty sure it's the Chat Moss route between Liverpool and Manchester, is completely chock-a-block now. I do think we've actually got some more services to schedule on that route, so we're not quite done yet, but it is really is getting busy. I'm just keeping an eye on this. That's just passing St Helens Junction, I want to say. possibly just through service. But I've just put a few intermediate signals in. I've had to squeeze a few more in and around Manchester Piccadilly and Manchester Victoria corridor because that was just completely backed up as well. I've got trains waiting to get into Piccadilly 11, 12 possibly. I can never remember which platforms it is. Right, so that's arrived into Victoria. Might just wait until 93 has left Victoria, and then I'll schedule this last train, the 98, and that should give us a relatively decent frequency. The actual loadings on these aren't too bad. I've got 155, 100. That 137 is not great, but that's actually full. Considering there's what 2, 3 services which are going between Liverpool and Victoria, Manchester Victoria. That's pretty good actually. It's actually making a little bit of a profit. So it is quite surprising considering there are so many duplicated stops, and I think now, yeah, we do need to start thinking about putting this on. I'm just waiting for this one to get up to start to approach Manchester, and it has just now. And I'll just double check if I put that on the right. Yeah, Liverpool to Scarborough. So we've got 6 trains on that, lots and lots of vehicles now traversing this line between Liverpool and Manchester. It really is chock-a-block. So I think I put a signal here, and I think this section or this block can fit a 5-car train, which is going to be the maximum length. It's going to be the TPE services anyway, but yeah, I think what all that does is it limits these vehicles. What are they? They are something. The 323s, that limits them to just working on their own rather than in multiple. So the 3-car formations, unfortunately, but potentially could get a 6-car formation in there, but I just don't want to risk fouling any of these junctions because it really is starting to get busy on this particular corridor. So that's the Liverpool Scarborough service in, and obviously when we get to 2018, 19, then they will become the Nova 3 Class 68 hauled Mark 5 units. So what I'll do, we'll wait for this Pendolino to get out of the way, and then we'll upgrade Preston. The approach to Preston, actually, no, we'll wait for him to get out of the way first before we do anything. Make sure there's nothing in the way. I haven't done much of the train work that I was supposed to have done around here, but never mind. He's sufficiently out of the way now, so just demolish Preston like that, and then actually just head over to Google Maps. Haven't loaded that up just to see what sort of station it is, modern or more classical. Where are you? Where's the station? Yeah, looks like an older style sort of station with a bit of roof on it. So I will keep that up. So actually, what are they? A set of bypass lines. So right, what are we doing? First things first, I think from about, I'm not sure, let's say from about here, let's say we need to upgrade this to, so electrification, yes, high speed tracks with electrification, and then this wants to split off because it goes into 4 tracks, something like that, and then it's 4 track all the way into Preston then. So I'll just carry this on. But there's not a great deal actually using this line at the minute. There is only the Virgin services which are using this particular section of the West Coast Main Line, but that will soon change as soon as we've got some of the different things, and we can start to think about the Liverpool-Blackpool service. What else? The Liverpool-Glasgow service, that's another service that's going to be using that busy junction around Manchester. You've got the Manchester Airport to Glasgow service. That's going to be another train using that junction. That's going to be quite busy. I'm going to have to demolish quite a lot here. Preston seems to be on a bit of a slope, so we just want a nice flat area from which to work, so I think I will actually use the flattening tool just to give us a nice flat surface on which to work. Again, the train station, the railway station, isn't going to be super realistic, but I'll try and match it as close as I can. Obviously we'll need a few. I think we need a bay platform for the Cumbrian coast service. I always mix those up, the Cambrian and the Cumbrian. But yeah, let's get rid of a bit more of that. Actually, let's just double check. How long does it stay for? It doesn't stay 4 track for very long. It actually splits off, doesn't it? With a portion going to Blackpool. So that's fine, that's good. So we're going to start with that. It's going to be a... What is it going to be? Only what? No, we'll just leave that track 1. 240, high speed, nope, standard actually. Catenary, yes, no. We'll make it red. It's either going to be a network rail or... Is that? No, that's the wrong one. Network rail or virgin colours, isn't it, basically? So it can go either or. I'm pretty... Or network rail blue or red? Don't know. Going with red. Something like that. And then just demolish everything that we've actually just placed down. Get rid of all that and that and that. And then just get this map up again. So what have we got around here? So we've got 2... Yeah, there are loads of different platforms on this, but we're just going to go first of all with the 2 main ones. So tracks, scroll through all this, that one, and then just we've got start with the 2 central platforms to get us going, and then platforms we'll just go with those empty on the end. Couple of them, so we've just got 2 through platforms, nice and straightforward like that, and then we want some more platforms, so we'll go another pair each side just for capacity. You can just run tracks on both faces of the platform, but the capacity is constrained, so you want as much waiting room as you possibly can get. And then tracks, I've got to scroll all the way back through this again. Just get all that on, like so, nice and straightforward. Having said that though, nice and straightforward, I do need a north face. As far as I'm aware, you need a north facing bay platform, but we've got a couple of south facing bay platforms. Doesn't really. What about Google Maps? Is there any north facing bays? There's one. That's just a through platform? Yeah, you've got those 2 south facing, that goes straight through, and that goes straight through as well, so can't really... No, there's no significant... I think there is a single little platform, but it only looks like 2 cars long, which isn't going to be good enough, because what I was thinking, up to where is it? It's not Blackpool, up to Barrow-in-Furness. I was going to put on the 37s like Northern did for a couple of years while it was waiting for rolling stock, so I was just going to do that for a bit, just thought it'd be a bit of fun more than anything, but yeah, we'll just wait and see. So back to the track. That wants to be... Saying that, I think all services are going to be calling Preston, so we don't really need to worry about the speed a great deal. Let's just make sure that's 108. No. Right, so get this one maybe over there. Am I going to have a platform, bay platform on here? Probably should have, shouldn't I? Perhaps. So actually we will configure, and why are you, get rid of you and this track as well. So just chuck all that back. I think we'll have it 2 segments and platforms. Yeah, we'll make this station 3 segments deep. White, you're brown as well. I don't want brown. Any more brown ones? No, what empty? I must have clicked on the wrong one. So just we'll have a single track bay platform there, like that. Just keep things simple. Right, have I got to put the track on first? Have I? Okay then, let's just chuck some sections of track on then. Just right there. They've got the piece of track in the way. Good. Sorted. Platforms. I've got to go through all this again. Chuck that on there, and then just chuck them on the end like that. Nice and easy. And then track, where are you? Scroll through all this again, and then just put this one down in the middle like so. I think I might just keep things nice and straightforward with this. So what I might do is I won't replicate the track layout. So what I'll do is I'll make sure that the West Coast services stay on these 2 tracks, because this junction here is a little bit slow. They do have to slow down to about 75. So if the West Coast services stay on these 2 main tracks like so, and then just drag this to about there, and then just put that into there, just keeps things a bit simpler. And then the slower trains, which won't be going that quick, can just be bolted onto there like that. So it just keeps things nice and simple. It just segregates the Blackpool services, so then this can just head off up towards Blackpool over there. So that just keeps things simple and segregates the faster and slower services at the same time. So that's nice and straightforward. All we have to do is, I think, on this, just in case it is needed for something, I'm just going to put a separator in there like so, and then that just allows something to use this bay platform if needed. Right, let's delete some of this, and the West Coast main line needs to be moved a little bit. Actually, let's just double check the map. What does it do? It does actually curve out, doesn't it, a little bit out of Preston anyway, so that's not too bad. We'll just follow that. We'll keep it relatively fast, because I've got the new realistic brake mod, which makes the trains brake a little bit more realistically, not so abruptly like they just passengers flying all over the place if that was real. But at the same time, yeah, I don't want the trains to be going too slow. What's that? Just double check that. 186, 186, that's all fine. And then from there just into there, 47 should be probably slowing down to that sort of speed anyway, and then just get that hooked up. So it's not identical by any means, but, and I think, oh no, Preston, yeah, it is on that side. Looks to me like there's only a small modern looking entrance, but I'm not going to go with the ultra modern entrance. I'm going to go just with one of the older ones, I think, which does actually need a platform, doesn't it? So is there actually a platform on that side? Let's just double check. There might be. Yeah, there's a second track and another platform, but I think I will just ignore that, possibly. There's nothing, there's not going to be anything. I know on the western side of Preston Station there's 2 bypass lines, but can't really see anything bypassing Preston other than freight anyway. So what I will do is I'll just put a couple of empty platforms in on this side, and then just, yeah, passenger building would be nice, something like that. Maybe a couple of, is that an active one? It is. And then just a couple of smaller buildings just to make it a little bit more interesting. And then where's the canopy section? So I'll put canopy on there. Let's just refer back to Google Maps. Yeah, so it is under a roof, like a substantial roof. So actually what I want to do first is the platforms is some actual underpasses. So I think I'll do one there, and then one there, and then I think I'll have two. Just, I like things to look even if I can, like that, and I'll put that one in there. So yeah, that looks alright. No, actually, nope, that's the wrong one. Nope, don't want to be doing that. Let's get rid of this and that and that and that, and the platform segment as well. Actually, yeah. And then what I want to do is, not that, platforms, just, I think I'll have like a bit of an open concourse in the middle, and then I'll actually go with the blank underpasses, the empty ones, just so there's like a bit of a concourse area. Looks a little bit better, I think. And then we want to go with the misc, don't we, on the roof, which is like a actually no, we'll get rid of that, multi-segmented roof. Yeah, it is. Yeah, we'll go with something like that, I think. And then just onto that passenger building there, I think we'll do the trick. And then we'll just have, for the last section, just a bit of a canopy, I think, on the end of it there. No, it looks a bit uneven now, doesn't it? Get rid of those. Talking of making things look a little bit more balanced, so yeah, we will. Where's the roof? Continue with, that's the modern one. Yeah, so we'll have something like that, and then just leave the ends bare. And then is this still called Preston, or is this called something else? So why are you complaining? Settlers Gipton. I haven't even touched anything over that way. Right, so no, that's the wrong one. Smooth some of this off and get the route up, the Avanti. So Oxenholme, Lancaster, Preston, get rid of that. Lancaster, Preston, Wigan North Western Crew, blah blah blah. Wigan, get rid of that. Wigan North Western, Preston. Let's just double check they are on the far right two tracks, which are the faster of the two, and then obviously they would be anyway because they go off towards Blackpool. And then I will just put in a couple of signals, so I'll put one in there. I don't really need one there, but I'll put it in anyway. And then on the approach to this junction here, we'll put in on there, and then one into the approach. And then do we need, I think, don't really need an intermediate signal, I don't think, on that section. Probably could do with one between Preston and Wigan, I think, because we are going to start to put on some more services, like the Liverpool to Glasgow. Now I know there's only, was it 4 trains a day, perhaps, something like that, but I will put on a full complement of trains for that service, I think. And the Manchester Airport to what would be the Manchester Airport Scotland service as well, I'll put that on at some stage. So it is going to get pretty busy. And then we've got the Blackpool services as well, which again they're going to start getting in. And actually, having said that, that runs up towards Lancaster. There's a branch off. I'm going to have to put in a turn back facility. I think, which platform do I want to use? I think I'll use the up. Yeah, I'll use the up platform, and I'm going to have to put in a turn back facility on here. Too much curvature, too much everything. No, just for the service, and then I'll put a signal in there and one there as well. Just for the service that's going to run off towards Barrow Furnace at some stage. We'll have to turn. I'm pretty sure it turns back at Preston. Could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it does. So we'll get that in place, and then just get some of the road rebuilt that we've demolished, like so. Yeah, it is a bit hilly around here. And can we just get straight down to there? We can. It's a bit steep though. Don't usually like to have steep slopes, only because of the buses. They look a little bit stupid when they come down really steep slopes. But the game's going to come in. It's going to try and build it what it wants anyway, isn't it? It usually does. It'll try and put in another road just to make things look a bit more ugly. But you get that connected straight onto there. Little bit of terrain smoothing around here. Hopefully Preston will recover a little bit. I'll have to do a bit more smoothing off camera, I think. But yeah, we've got Preston. It's not identical, it's not really accurate, but it's a bit more functional because we are going to have extra services calling in, and there are other services into Manchester as well via what will it be, via Bolton possibly. So yeah, it does. This bay platform is actually going to get used, isn't it? Because there's going to be a Preston to Manchester via Bolton route that needs to be built as well, so that will get used. And I have to find out where the junction is, but at least we've got the basis of the station in now, which is the main thing. Just put a bridge, which is pretty ugly. That's even worse. Just maybe this will fix some of the issues that we've got going on there if we just tie that back up. I might revisit that bridge at some stage. No, that's still not fixed. Oh, I'll leave it. I think it's just that connection there. So yeah, we've got Preston rebuilt. I'm not sure if I need to do anything to Lancaster other than the junction to Barrow-in-Furness. Oxenholme will probably stay as it is, perhaps, but there is a little bit that needs to go off to Kendal as well. So we've still got plenty to do, but that's looks a little bit better now, a little bit more functional. So there we are. I think I'll leave you with the Class 390 Pendolino on the service down towards Stafford and say until next time, bye bye.